Field in Atlanta for the first of a 3-game series that'll wrap up the interleague schedule of the regular season for the Blue Jays. And you can see it's a Spartan crowd, to be sure. It's been a disappointing season for the Braves, but that's not the case for the Blue Jays. The Yankees beat Tampa Bay last night. They beat them with 4 runs in the 9th inning to win 4-3, and they have cut off a half a game off their deficit. They trail the Blue Jays by 3 games, and it's a 2-team race right now for the East Pack.
Yeah, that was a big one last night for the Yankees. They looked like they were dead in the water. They were getting no hit by Erasmo Ramirez, and they were actually losing heading into the 9th inning. Somehow they scored 4 runs against Boxberger to win that ball game. Doesn't mean anything right now. All the Blue Jays have to do is concentrate on them. They are the one who are being chased by all these teams. They've got the 3-game lead. Just go out there and just play solid baseball, and everything else will take care of itself.
The Atlanta Braves took 2 of 3 from the Blue Jays way back in April at Rogers Center. First time these 2 teams met. Take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays, and they have played very well on the road. Since August 7th, they're 13-5 on the road. That's the best road record in the American League. Let's take a look at the lineup. It's Revere, Donaldson, and Jose Bautista. He's had a good road trip. 9 hits in his 27 at-bats, a .333 average, 4 extra base hits, and he's driven home 7. And Russell Martin against the starter for Atlanta tonight, Julio Teheran, is 4 for 8 with a pair of home runs. Russell Martin done a great job this season, and now he's going to hit in that 5th spot behind Justin Smoke. No Edwin Encarnacion tonight, and the pitcher bats in the 9th spot.
Probably the best pitcher, best starting pitcher that the Atlanta Braves have, and the hottest pitcher right now is Julio Teheran. You can see his numbers in 29 starts. He's 10-7 with a .438 earned run average. This is his 97th career start and his 100th career appearance. He faces the Blue Jays for the 2nd time this season, 3rd time overall in his career. He's pitched well here at home. He's got a very good record, and he's been hot ever since they moved him over to the first base side of that pitcher's rubber. He's 4-1 since the beginning of August with 3 no decisions.
Defensively, the Braves are middle of the pack. They've committed 77 errors. That's about middle of the road for the National League. In the outfield, Nick Swisher, the veteran, he's in left field. Michael Buehrle, they both came over from Cleveland earlier in the season. Nick Markakis in his first season with the Atlanta Braves. On the infield, Adonis Garcia, Anderson Simmons on the left side, Daniel Castro and Freddie Freeman on the right side. And how about the season the catcher has put together? A.J. Pierzynski has done a terrific job. Pierzynski, the veteran, will handle Julio Teheran tonight.
And there's a familiar guy out in right field for the Atlanta Braves. Nick Markakis, former Baltimore Oriole, now in his 10th Major League season. He has started 140 of a possible 144 games for the Braves in the outfield. As a former Gold Glove winner in 2011 and 2014. And he has really fit right in here in Atlanta.
He sure
for
has.
The Braves.
He is now 31 years old. This is his 10th big league season. And the thing about Markakis is he's always been a very good hitter. But he's more of a complimentary hitter, and I think his skills really haven't been effective here in Atlanta the way they were in Baltimore. Here is Ben Revere. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Ben Revere is home. He grew up here in the Atlanta area. Went to school in LaGrange, Georgia, about 50 miles south of Atlanta. So a fly ball deep to center. Bourne's got plenty of room. 1 up, 1 down. Well, Josh Donaldson knows all about Julio Teheran. He faced him back in April at Rogers Center.
Yeah, and he took him deep a couple of times. This is a fastball, that center cut, and he inside outs that ball to right field and just into the bullpen and right. This is when we started to find out a little bit more about Josh Donaldson and the type of power that he possesses to right field. This one at the dead center field off of Teheran. Going to be a little bit different playing in this ballpark. This is a great pitcher's ballpark. There's a lot of room from left center to right center.
Donaldson is 3 for 6 with those 2 home runs against Teheran. Look out. That bat sails into the seats, and that hit a fan very flush right above the Blue Jays dugout. And we haven't seen Donaldson do that too much. And he's going to get a ball. Gary Cederstrom, the home plate umpire, flipped Donaldson a baseball to give to that fan, and someone got hit very hard by that bat. And it appears as though they're okay, but Donaldson just flipped that baseball up there. I think that man in the red got hit by the bat, and Now they're going to take that fan who has the bat. But watch the guy in the red shirt. He ducked out of the way. You can see Donaldson's reaction. He's concerned about the safety of all those fans right behind the dugout.
We've never seen that before from Donaldson and Josh. The reaction, he knows that he hit somebody flush.
0-2 to Donaldson. Down the right field side, that's going to slice foul. And again, that's the Donaldson we have seen all season long. Well, he gets 2 strikes and he changes his approach dramatically.
He'll look for breaking balls and then just react to fastballs. I think that time he just reacted to the fastball. It was a little late. Blue Jays are going to be in tough with A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate. He knows all about these hitters. He has been around a long time and he knows how to pitch to these guys.
Pierzynski is in his 18th season, and he spent a lot of time in the American League, so he knows a lot about these hitters. This is a good breaking ball right here. First strikeout of the night.
That has been the biggest improvement from what we hear from the Atlanta Braves and Julio Teheran since he has moved over to that first base side of the pitcher's rubber. That slider has been a little bit more, got a little bit more depth on it, and he's using it with a little bit more frequency.
Jose Bautista takes the first pitch strike. We mentioned Bautista's great numbers on the road trip. 9 for 27. 4 extra base hits. Fastball inside. Teheran has made some adjustments, as Pat mentioned, but for a while he was stuck in between. Didn't know if he wanted to be a sinker ball pitcher or a 4-seam fastball pitcher.
I think he's gone back to being more of a power pitcher. Look at all the fastballs he's throwing.
Another thing he's doing that's very effective is working very quickly. Pierzynski, his catcher, is now 38 years old. Originally signed with the Twins. He's bounced around. He's been a terrific player, an all-star 2 times. Good fastball. A couple of strikeouts for Teheran here in the first. The Blue Jays are down in order. 3 up, 3 down. Mark Buehrle. This is a key start for Buehrle and for the Blue Jays. Their manager right at the top of the order. How about Nick Markakis and his numbers against Mark Buehrle? He is 22 for 49. That's a 449 average, 7 extra base hits. He's driven home 7 against Buehrle. And then Freddie Freeman, the young first baseman, he's a veteran at just 26 years old. He has hit the Blue Jays well, a 400 average as well. 3 homers and 7 RBIs, and Mark Buehrle makes his second start in 16 days.
Yeah, just his second over that 16-day period, shooting for his first 15-win season since 2008. That's when he was with the White Sox. He has been the best in interleague play. He has won 30 games in interleague. That's the most all time.
He is 30-11 in interleague play, and here's his nemesis, Nick Markakis. 449 average against Buehrle, and there's a good changeup. What do you look for Buehrle to give you an indication he's pretty good?
Well, he's got to live on the edges. We have seen that. His changeup has to be a little bit better, maybe a little bit more zip on that fastball. I think the key for him, though, is that cutter. He's got to be able to put it low in the strike zone and keep it out of the middle.
Now, one thing you're going to get from Buehrle, no matter how he feels, is he's going to find out quickly. He works quickly, not wanting to waste any time at all. And that breaking ball off the plate.
He found out very quickly in his last start. That was against the Red Sox in Boston at the beginning of this trip. Just 3 1/3 innings for Mark.
So fly ball deep to center field. Pilar is back, and it is a long way out there to center. 400 feet away. Buehrle has an out. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense for Mark Buehrle. He's going to give up some contact tonight, so the outfield becomes very important. Ben Revere, Kevin Pilar, and Jose Bautista from left to right. Josh Donaldson is at third. Ryan Goins is going to play shortstop with Tulowitzki still on the mend. Pennington's at second, Smoke at first, and Russell Martin back behind the plate.
You got a chance to see Kevin Pilar has played in 142 of 143 games this season. Kevin has 2 errors, and he leads the team with 10 outfield assists. He has been sensational in the outfield this year.
This is Daniel Castro. Castro, 22 years old. There's a base hit to right. A 1-out single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Alex Rodriguez had a double to center field in the 8th to tie it up. That set the table for Slade Heathcott last night, and that's how the Yankees won it. Freddie Freeman hits it on the ground. Pennington goes to Donaldson at second. Return throw in time. Boy, a nifty double play. Donaldson, playing in the shift, came across the bag, and he took a tough throw. But they're able to get Buehrle out of the first.
Find something to do with their time. So last night, almost the entire team took in the Monday Night Football game at the Georgia Dome, thanks to Josh Donaldson and Ben Revere, who set up tickets for practically everyone. They had a chance to enjoy themselves sitting in a lounge and sitting in the seats, enjoying a lot of food. A lot of them got to go on the field before the game, and the only real complaint I heard from players was, why is it that when NFL players come to check out a baseball game, they get to take BP? We don't get to go and kick field goals and throw passes. We would have loved to have that opportunity, but they were more than thrilled to enjoy a night of football. Buck, Pat, I know you guys were there, and you got a chance to get on the field before the game too, didn't you?
Yeah, we sure did, Barry. It was a great opportunity, and it was an awful lot of fun to get up close and see those great athletes. And yeah, we saw them kicking field goals in the pregame, and I tell you what, the way the punters punt and the kickers kick, it's impressive.
And not to mention that they were huge, some of those guys.
Those players are unbelievable, physical specimens to be sure. This is Justin Smoke getting us started at first base. He had an interesting talk with Smoke about switch hitting early on this afternoon.
Yeah, he's from South Carolina, so he was a big Braves fan. That's all that they got on television was the Atlanta Braves growing up, and said he started switch hitting when he was younger with the influence of Chipper Jones. He would watch Chipper Jones and try to be like him. He actually started as a natural right-hander and learned in high school to hit left-handed. A little bit more power from the left side, a little bit better hitter from the right side, but I think he's going to have a good series here.
Takes a leadoff walk. Good start for the Blue Jays in the second. Smoke grew up watching those Braves with his teammate Matt Wieters, who too is a switch hitter. They played on the same high school team. Wieters was a year ahead of Smoke, but Smoke would pitch from time to time and Wieters would catch. Russell Martin, we mentioned his good numbers against Julio Teheran, the Braves starter. He's 4 for 8 with a couple of home runs. Teheran is from Cartagena, Colombia. The Braves signed him as a non-drafted free agent in July of 2007 as a 16-year-old. Martin batting .241 for the season, 19 homers and 64 RBIs. Just 2 off his career high in home runs.
Yankee Stadium, it looked like Russell started coming back around. He's seeing the ball just a little bit better. I think the way he is taking pitches and attacking balls, he's starting to come on an upswing again offensively. And the hitters count again, 2-0.
Drives this ball foul. He got underneath it a little bit. This time of the year, when you get into the month of September, it cools off, and I tell you what, it is so comfortable here in Atlanta. We're used to being here in July and August when it's in the middle of the summer, but this type of weather will rejuvenate regular players like Martin.
Yeah, especially catchers, guys who have been behind the dish all summer long.
Another foul back. Teheran's got a good fastball tonight, and that slider that we saw him strike out Donaldson with, that's the old neutralizer. Russell Martin's liable to get it right here on the 2-2 count.
Yeah, probably. So he's got to be able to shoot that ball to right field or back up through the middle. Early in the season, Teheran was more of a two-seamer, sinker baller, throw a change up every now and then, use the fastball. Now it's back to fastball slider.
Obviously, a lot of important games going on in both leagues. The Cubs lost to the Pirates in the first game of their doubleheader. As Jamie Campbell told you earlier, the Yankees have a lead over Tampa Bay thanks to Alex Rodriguez and a home run, 1-0. There's that slider. Martin strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts already for Teheran.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report while we got a chance for tonight's starter for the Atlanta Braves, Julio Teheran. What does he feature? He basically fastball, throws that 62% of the time. That's a low 90s. Slider, curveball, and a changeup. Changeup should be a developing pitch to him, but it hasn't been so far this year. They hit .348 against that changeup. Left-handers have had their way against him this season, and I think that's why they moved him over to that left side of the pitcher's rubber so he can get inside on him.
Yeah, the right-handers have trouble with that slider and the fastball, but that slider doesn't have the same effect to left-handed hitters.
He has given up 16 home runs to lefties this season. Dan Herron leads with 20. And Teheran is right behind him with 16.
Well, I love the way Teheran's working quickly. Very much like Mark Buehrle. It just keeps the pressure on the hitter. You never get a chance to clear your head and come up with one focus point. There was that changeup, but it missed. 2-1 to Goins. Ryan's 4 for his last 28, but has still put together a great stretch. In his last 35 games, he's hit .275. Pulls this one through the hole. Base hit to right. Smoke's going to stop at second. Markakis has one of the best arms in baseball. Very true, very accurate thrower.
Yeah, no chance for Justin Smoke to go first and third. They try to get this ball away. It looked like a two-seamer. Yeah, he rolled over on it, but he rolled over on it and got it through the hole on the right side. Markakis has 4 outfield assists, and you're right, you're not going to run on him, so Smoke stops at second.
1 out for Kevin Pillar. He's in the 7th spot. Thing to remember, and of course, Blue Jays have played American League all year long, but when you get into interleague play, the strategy gets to be a little bit different down at the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9, of course, the pitcher in the 9th spot. Do you think it's tougher on the 7 and 8 hitters hitting in the National League ahead of the pitcher?
I think it is, because they're not going to get anything to hit, are they? I mean, they're going to pitch around. How about that first pitch to Kevin Pillar, slider? And I think that's why Pennington is hitting 8th tonight. He is used to hitting in front of the pitcher when he played over in the National League.
Thus, being a switch hitter, you really put yourself in the best possible situation by having Pennington hit ahead of Mark Buehrle. 2-0 to Pillar. He's out Buehrle with the hooded sweatshirt on. It's that kind of night. It's a little cool. Something you wouldn't say often coming here to Atlanta, but it has been cool the last couple of days.
Wow, is he spending a lot of time looking at Justin Smoke?
Yeah, and we know Smoke doesn't run. There's a strike on the corner. Kevin Pillar with an opportunity to put the Jays out in front. Starting to swing a little better. There's that slider, boy. That's the neutralizer. You can look for that anytime Tehran gets in a jam. He's going to go to that slider.
A little bit surprised that he threw it 2-1 to him right there to get back even at 2-2. Thought he might have saved that to when he got the 2 strikes to go for the punch out.
I think at 2-1 he was just concerned about giving Pillar that fastball on the hitter's count. Breaking ball hammered, but well foul. That one stayed inside. So now, if I'm hitting, if I'm Kevin Pillar, I got to think he's going to throw me another slider, but he's going to try to throw it outside this time.
Bury it down and away, or he might even go to that high fastball. Teams have been starting to use that high fastball against Kevin to finish off at bats.
There's that breaking ball. 4 strikeouts now. Kansas City lost last night to the Cleveland Indians, and the Blue Jays, although they were idle, gained ground on the Royals. And you see, this is for the best overall record in the American League, which is significant, Pat, because the team with the best overall records guaranteed home field advantage throughout the postseason.
All the way through right there. And yeah, Blue Jays players aren't talking about that, because when you talk to them, they're talking about today's ball game. But I think everybody is aware of it. And they would like to do that, to overcome and take the best record in the American League away from the Kansas City Royals, who it looked like was going to be a foregone conclusion that they were going to have the best record.
The Royals are backing up to the Blue Jays. This is Cliff Pennington. There's a base hit to right field. Smoke's being waved around third. Markakis comes up throwing. Here's the throw to the plate. It's offline. And now Pennington's going to get caught off first, but the tag is high. So Cliff Pennington drives in Justin Smoke from second. For Pennington, that's his 5th RBI. Louis Rivera challenged the arm of Markakis with the pitcher coming up. The strategy's a lot different in these National League games.
That's exactly right. With that pitcher coming up, you have to send the runner. You got to hope that you're going to get a bad throw from Nick Markakis. We haven't seen it very often in the 10 years that we've been covering Nick, but he makes a bad throw here. This is a base hit by Pennington, and he's sending Smoke all the way. Throw is way offline. It's there in plenty of time, but it's way offline, so Smoke scores. And then Pennington, who is going to try and go to second base on that relay home, gets back to first base with a nifty little move.
Boy, Quinn Wolcott, the first base umpire, has just made himself right on top of the plate, got himself into great position, and then Pennington stepped around that tag. This is Mark Buehrle. Buehrle is not a automatic out. He has a hit this year. For his career, he has one home run. That came with the White Sox. 2-0, 2 outs. Now 3-0 to the pitcher. And look at Perzinski's saying something to Buehrle about, I can't believe we're pitching around you.
Swing the bat.
Ball 4. Boy, that is a big no-no. He walked the opposing pitcher to load the bases, and he wasn't close.
Well, now the Blue Jays have to capitalize. They got to come up with a big hit right here to really make it hurt.
Back to the top of the order, Ben Revere. Mentioned Revere has done such a terrific job since coming over to the Blue Jays. He started out slow and hit a lot of weak ground balls. Then he got hot, and the Blue Jays pushed him into that leadoff spot. He's never hit a grand slam, and I don't expect him to hit one here. He needs a base hit, but for more than anything, Tehran's struggling to throw a strike.
Yeah, he needs to make Tehran come to him and throw a strike. There are his numbers in his career with the bases loaded. Big ballpark. Been driving the ball just a little bit better. His line drive percentage has been up since he has come to the Blue Jays. Let's see if that magic wand can stay hot.
Revere in this ballpark, a .339 average. This is his 16th career game here at Turner Field. Tehran's lost it. Boy, he looked like gangbusters in the first. 3 up, 3 down. Struck out Donaldson, struck out Bautista. But he started the inning with a leadoff walk. Justin Smoke came around to score. 2-1 now. Three and 1. The Blue Jays have not fared well here at Turner Field over the last several seasons. They're 2-9 here at Turner Field, and they'd like to turn those numbers around in this series. Bases are loaded. Three and 1, 2 outs. Line on the short hop, knocked down by Castro. He goes to first, and the inning is over, but the Blue Jays break out on top. Cliff Pennington with another big RBI, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead.
Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on more than 400 devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Every night on every device. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And on that MLB 15 buck, we can tell you that the Tampa Bay Rays have struck right back and tied the game with the Yankees 1-1.
That's a good deal right there. And, of course, the Yankees won with 4 runs in the 9th last night. Texas beat Houston. Prince Fielder hit a 2-run home run in the 8th. So now Texas just a half game back of the Houston Astros in the AL West. Seattle, they pummeled the Angels. Taijuan Walker over Garrett Richards. Minnesota, don't take your eye off the Twins. They beat the Tigers 7-1 last night.
That's another team that has been playing so much better.
And of course Cleveland, behind Carlos Carrasco, beat Edinson Volquez and the Royals 8-3. Adonis Garcia hits one up the middle, and Buehrle thought about reaching for it, but he let it go past and sneaks into center. The Atlanta Braves got off to a decent start. They were playing .500 baseball about halfway through the season, and then they made a couple of trades, and they traded some key players away, and it's been a disappointing season from August 9th on. Only 5 wins in their last 33 games, and you can see they haven't pitched well. They're not hitting much, and the run differential is 118.
Polar opposite of what the Blue Jays have gone through. You know, through 70 games this year, the Braves were 35-35, 500, right on the nose after 70. But since then, it's just been awful for them.
He talked to a lot of the Braves executives, including John Hart, their GM. He said, we probably weren't as good as that 500 team, and I know we're not as bad as this team. Somewhere in between, but they made a lot of changes.
Well, they've made a full-fledged commitment to redo it. Just tear it down, start all over again, and let's go with some of the young guys and some of the guys from our farm system. What was John Hart telling us yesterday? You got to win with your kids. That's where it starts. The turnaround starts.
John Scherholz, a long-time general manager here with Atlanta, said the secret sauce to winning baseball is homegrown talent. Ball on the strike to Pierzynski. Former Battery mates facing each other here tonight. Pierzynski and Buehrle, teammates with the Chicago White Sox. A.J. Pierzynski now 38 years old. Originally drafted and signed with the Minnesota Twins.
And Mark knows he wants to get out there. Pierzynski wants to hook a ball to right field.
Just like that. That's down in the corner. Garcia's around toward third. They're going to stop him at third as the cutoff throw comes into Pennington. So A.J. Pierzynski hits his 22nd double off his former teammate, Mark Buehrle.
Yeah, A.J. has been doing it for a long, long time. He's always looking for something in that he can wrap down into that corner, and he gets that from Buehrle. They go in, and you got to go way in and way off the player. This is going to happen. Double into the corner. There are thoughts of Garcia trying to score from first base. Bo Porter holds him up with nobody out.
This is what you mentioned earlier in the day about this being a trap series. Atlanta, such a disappointing season. The Blue Jays trying to win the division, and you can't take them lightly. Atlanta's 27 games out of first. This is the veteran Nick Swisher. Swisher came over from the Cleveland Indians. He was originally a first-round pick of the Oakland A's. Where he throws a strike, gets the ball on the strike. Swisher is a switch hitter with runners at second and third, nobody out. Braves trying to get right back even with the Blue Jays. Swisher has spent time with Oakland. We mentioned that's his first team. He played a year in Chicago. He had 4 years in New York with the Yankees and then went to Cleveland until he was traded here in July.
Yeah, he knows about winning those years he spent with the Yankees.
Inside corner, Buehrle does that as well as anybody. He can catch those right-handers napping. Big strikeout for Buehrle with nobody out. Now there's one down.
He'll get the majority of his strikeouts with a fastball freezing right-handed batters on the inside part of the plate right there. Swisher knew it was a strike. And now you got first base open. And you can pitch around Simmons if you want.
Anderson Simmons a right-handed bat. Michael Buehrle is left-handed, but Buehrle has hit well against Buehrle in the past. Bouncing ball, run's going to come in to score. Pennington goes to first. Garcia comes across to score the tying run. Simmons picks up the RBI. That's his 39th of the season on the ground out. So it's a 1-1 ball game. Now Michael Buehrle. Mentioned Bourne's numbers against Buehrle's 5 for 11. That's a .455 average. Off speed pitch. He was way out front.
Wow, he took a lot off of that curveball. That was only 71 miles an hour. I think you can do that here because he's hitting in front of the pitcher.
Warren rolls that one foul.
Don't give him anything to hit right here. You don't give in and throw him a fastball. Just see if you can just keep throwing breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball and see if Michael Buehrle can get himself out.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. Make Buehrle get himself out. Don't give him anything. There's another breaking ball. Bourne's anxious to drive in the run. And he understands the pitcher's behind him, so he's the best option. Buehrle got that changeup inside, and Buehrle hooked it foul. And they took a shot at that outside corner. 3-2, 2 outs. The pitcher Julio Teheran is on deck. And Buehrle takes ball 4. That is not a bad walk. He wouldn't chase, and Buehrle wouldn't give in.
He was hoping that he would chase. That's why he kept throwing those breaking balls off the plate. But Buehrle showed a lot of patience. Takes his walk, and now they get to face the pitcher.
Julio Teheran has 4 hits this season. He's 4 for 44. Has a couple of RBIs. Goes after the first pitch, and that's going to reach the seats out of play. This is a really challenging field for defensive players because it's so big. Yeah, it's tough to hit home runs, but there's a lot of ground to cover, especially against a pitcher. You think that you got to play fairly shallow, but boy, there's a lot of room in both gaps, and look at how much territory there is out there for a base hit to fall. Donaldson at third, waits on the hop, throws to first, and Buehrle is out of the inning. The Braves leave a pair, but they score a run on the ground out by Simmons. It's a 1-1 ball game as we head to the third.
price at $24.99 a month. Modem rental or purchase is required. Ask about our other plans that deliver the fastest internet speed to the most Canadians. Call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today. Buck, I would think that most of the people here tonight are Canadians, judging by this crowd.
I think you're right. I think the Blue Jay fans outnumber the Braves fans tonight. And the Blue Jays certainly have much more to cheer about this time of the year. It is an unusual situation for Braves fans because they are so used to winning. But the last two seasons have been kind of disappointing for them. Not the case for Blue Jay fans. Josh Donaldson will lead things off for the Blue Jays here in the third. Donaldson struck out on a slider his first time up.
This will be really interesting now, second time through against Tehran. See what the Blue Jays have learned about him. 4 strikeouts of the first 9 batters that he faced, all on sliders.
Another slider on the first pitch. The Braves are playing a more exaggerated shift on the left side of the infield than we have seen from a lot of teams against Donaldson. Simmons is really in the hole at short. High fly ball, difficult to see right now. The left fielder Swisher doesn't see it. Simmons goes all the way out into shallow left field. Nick Swisher never saw that ball off the bat.
This is a brutal sky right now. That ball goes up. I don't think I lost it when it went up. Nick Swisher looking straight up into the sky. That's what he's looking into. Tough.
And Swisher throws his hands up to indicate I don't see it, but Simmons to me is the best shortstop in the game going out to catch pop-ups in left field.
Didn't we see that back at Rogers Center earlier this year?
You saw it in spring training too.
That's
Remember
right.
In spring training made a terrific play way out in left field, but there's the sky. Beautiful to look at, not so nice to try to catch fly balls out of it. Bautista struck out his first time up. That's a tight slider.
It's a tight slider, and you're going to see swings because they're not real familiar with them. I mean, we never see Jose Bautista do that. He was just guessing fastball right there and got the slider and missed it.
Another slider, another strikeout. That's 5 strikeouts for Tehran. 2 outs here in the third.
Jose is the kind of hitter that likes to have a lot of information when he is up at the plate and try to find something out about that pitcher, put together a game plan. But those 2 swings right there tells me that his game plan is not the right one. Their slider right there, and he was looking fastball.
Justin Smoak scored the Blue Jays run after drawing the leadoff walk. Another interesting thing Smoak mentioned about his development as a baseball player. He was talking about switch hitting, but he also found out early that he was a left-handed thrower. Kind of surprised his dad.
His dad was teaching him when he was younger. Well, let's see what kind of hitter you are. So he would make him grab a bat or a golf club and see how he would swing. And Justin always picked it up with the right hand. So his father figured he was right-handed, but pretty soon Justin started throwing with his left hand and said, hey, I got something different here. You don't see very many left-handed throwers and right-handed hitters in baseball.
Of course, the Blue Jays had one during their World Series run. Ricky Henderson.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Guy who throws left-handed but hits right-handed. Justin then said between his freshman and sophomore year in high school, he said, I'm going to give it the whole summer. I'm going to bat left-handed the whole year. The whole summer, I'm going to dedicate myself to see if I can do it. If I can't, I'll just stay right-handed. Well, he started hitting more home runs, getting a little bit more comfortable. And here he is as a switch-hitting, power-hitting first baseman.
A slow breaking ball. He took something off that breaking ball. 2 more strikeouts for Tehran in the third. Blue Jays yet to figure out the righty.
By the all-new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
What a beautiful sunset here in Atlanta. Gorgeous pink sky. Lights haven't taken full effect here, and it is a very comfortable evening for baseball. 1-1 ball game. Nick Markakis, the leadoff man. Markakis grew up in Georgia. He was drafted out of junior college by the Baltimore Orioles, his 7th overall pick in 2003. Markakis breaks his bat. Nick was a two-way player. He was a pitcher and an outfielder. When the Orioles drafted him, they weren't really sure what they should allow him to do, but obviously he's become a very good position player, 2-time Gold Glove winner. He's had 2 100 RBI seasons and a career-high 23 home runs in 2007.
That arm still came into play, didn't it?
Yep, helped him out well in the outfield.
In the outfield, he always used to pick up a lot of outfield assists. People don't run on him anymore.
He's got 97 career outfield assists, and he's a .290 career hitter. He's had a great career. Breaking ball, that's going to be trouble down the right side. It bounces off the wall. Bautista plays it on the hop and gets it back in. Markakis with a leadoff double. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Adam Warren is starting for the Yankees against Jake Odorizzi. And they've got a lot of players that can do a lot of things down there in Tampa Bay, but their bullpen uncharacteristically coughed it up last night. Erasmo Ramirez, as Pat mentioned earlier, took a no-hitter into the 8th. There's a push bunt up the first base side. Smoke will flip to Pennington at first. What a good play. Justin Smoke was in between. Do I go after it or go back to the base and let Buehrle cover? But it's a perfect bunt. Terry Pendleton, the first base coach, wants them to look at the play on video.
First basemen are taught, when in doubt, go get the baseball and get the out. This ball is pushed up the first base line. You can see the in-between between Smoke and Buehrle, and then Justin says, I'll go and take it, and then record the out over at first base on the flip to Pennington. The reason that you're taught to go get it, you got to go get it. You know the second baseman's going to be there. If you don't and the pitcher misses it, it's going to be a base hit. Smoke did the right thing, got the out, and now the infield looks like they're going to come about halfway for Freddie Freeman.
Castro is credited with the sacrifice bunt. Markakis now at third for Freddie Freeman, who grounded into a double play his first time up. This is where Buehrle is always in a tough spot. He doesn't have a strikeout pitch. He doesn't have the ability to get a whole lot of swings and misses. And that's what you need in this situation.
Yeah, or a pop-up. He's a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher right now in his career. I think he should have the same game plan that he had against Michael Bourne right here. You got first base open. Freddie Freeman is their best RBI guy. You can pitch around him, hope that he swings at a pitch out of the strike zone and gets himself out. If not, you walk him, you set up the double play.
So it's 3-1 to Freeman, and I agree with you. Pete Walker is already on the phone down to the Blue Jays bullpen. Ground ball off Smoke, and that's going to go into second base. The run comes in. Markakis comes in to score, and a very uncharacteristic play by Justin Smoke. It was hit right to his glove side, kicked off his glove up in the air. Freeman hit it hard, but it's certainly a playable ball for Smoke.
You know what I think happened? I think Justin got caught looking to see where that runner was before he caught the ball. Markakis freezes, and I don't think he was going to go. I think he was going to go back to third base, but when the ball was booted, Freeman is safe at first base, and the Braves take the lead.
It's an error on Smoke. He's a very sure-handed first baseman. Ryan Tepera, we mentioned the bullpen going to work for the Blue Jays. This is Garcia. This should be 2. Goins to Pennington, back to first. It is a double play. Well, the air proves costly. Markakis with the leadoff double scores on the air by Smoke, and the Braves have a 2-1 lead.
George Bell, Dwayne Ward, Devon White, and many more to talk a little baseball and have some lunch. It's the Canada Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum fundraising luncheon. It goes Friday, September 18th at the Albany Club in Toronto. Don't miss this great opportunity. For tickets, go to baseballhalloffame.ca. Buck?
There is a Hall of Fame sunset right there. That is gorgeous here in Atlanta. A fall-like evening. The Blue Jays find themselves down 2-1. The Yankees are trailing Tampa Bay 2-1, middle of the third down in St. Pete. The Blue Jays have more concerns about Julio Teheran right now. For the Blue Jays, it'll be Martin, Goins, and Pilar in the fourth. Teheran with 6 strikeouts already.
Boy, he has worked that slider masterfully against these right-handed batters. There's another one.
And he's doing a good job of changing speeds with it. We have seen the harder one up to 83, and that one was 79. Another slider, another strikeout. 3 in a row struck out by Teheran. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. It's Chris Medlin against Josh Tomlin, the pitching matchup. Medlin for the Royals. And yeah, it's difficult to turn it on and off, and the Royals would just like to get things a little more consistent. Troy Tulowitzki on the bench, and he is traveling with the ball club, of course. Doesn't want to change the dynamics of that clubhouse, even though he can't play. So all he can do is allow that injury to heal, and then they'll make an evaluation in a few days just as to what's the next step for him. Boy, Teheran's really found the groove now with that breaking ball.
He is spinning that bad boy up there. Lefties have hit .299 against him. We mentioned the 16 home runs, so he has had problems with the lefties. Righties, no problem. They've only hit .217 against him. Tonight, he's got that breaking ball against the right-handers.
The righties are 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts. So that is a pretty good example of that slider and how effective it has been early. But watch the different speeds of his slider. He'll throw at 79. We've seen it up to 83.
Little curveball.
Has a pretty good feel for it right now.
Just keep making him work. Keep piling on those pitches. That's the one thing that they've done. All these strikeouts get that pitch count up. They're nice. 7 of them now through 3 1/3, but he's also thrown 63 pitches.
Well, that's the one thing the Blue Jays know about the Braves. Their bullpen has really been hammered lately, and they'd love to get Teheran out of this game.
Either hit him out of the ball game or get that pitch count up, and then that'll take him out of the game. Freddie Gonzalez will take him out once he gets just around 100 pitches.
One's got a high breaking ball there, but fouled it back out of play. These are always tough series for a team like the Blue Jays. You come out of a supercharged atmosphere in New York, 4-game series, and come down here, and there's nothing going on in this ballpark. So you have to motivate yourself as a player and as a team. It happens a lot when you go into Tampa Bay and play at Tropicana Field with nobody in the ballpark, no atmosphere whatsoever. You've got to really dig down deep to keep your focus.
And you're playing a team that is not playing for anything. They're loose as a goose. They're going out here just doing their thing. I mean, if they win, great. If they don't, you know, it's just another loss for them. But for the Blue Jays, everything is a little bit more important. So these games, you're right, this time of the year on the road, they're tough.
A.J. Pierzynski out to have a chat with Teheran. He wasn't pleased with Teheran's thoughts about how they wanted to finish off this at bat.
And as tough as Teheran has been today, Shelby Miller has been tougher on the Blue Jays. Tomorrow's starter for the Braves.
He sure has. He hasn't won. He's 5-14, but he's got a 286 earned run average. And Miller beat the Blue Jays back at Rogers Center early in the season. Inside. Goins takes ball 4. He goes to first. A 1-out walk. That's 3 walks now to go along with those 7 strikeouts. That too will elevate your pitch count. You just got to believe that the Blue Jays got to play hit and run or something. Just start something going against Teheran.
Tell you what it does when you play hit and run is it makes that batter concentrate just a little bit more on that pitch, doesn't it?
A lot of managers will put it on just for that reason. Not running here, and there's a slider, and Buehrle pulls off of it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the righties pull off on that slider thinking it's a fastball. Take a couple of right field, and I bet you Teheran will start changing his approach.
Teheran's got one of the best pickoff moves in all of baseball. He has 5 pickoffs this season. He has 20 for his career, and he's quick like a cat going to first. Oh, and 2. Pilar's got a battle now. It'll pop up into shallow right. Second baseman is out. Castro is there, and Pilar's retired. 2 down. So these are the toughest at bats for the number 8 hitter. You have the pitcher coming up next. Your team's down by a run. You know you're not going to get much to hit. So you really have to be patient. But at the same time, you know, you might expand your zone just a little bit. But you know they're not going to give you much to hit.
Yeah, knowing that you have a better chance of driving in that run than the guy on deck.
Pennington, the veteran that he is, not chasing those borderline pitches. If nothing else, you want to get on base and get Buehrle's spot out of the way. Don't let him lead off the next inning. There's a base hit to right. Goins is going to go to third. Markakis comes up throwing. The ball will be cut off by Simmons. And Pennington has his second hit of the night. 2 for 2 for the second baseman.
Doing his job. He got ahead of the count against Tehran, found something he liked, and ripped it into right field for the second time. Goins is going to make it without a throw to third base.
Tehran against the American League East has not fared well this season. 0-3. His ERA almost 11. AL East has hit nearly 400 against him. Mark Buehrle. It's the first pitch strike. Buehrle walked on 4 pitches his last time up. That was with 2 outs. That loaded the bases. Buehrle fouls it back. It's 0-2. Inside now, 2-2. Look at the anticipation on Marcus Stroman. Rooting for Buehrle, who's been his mentor, saying, come on, Mark, get a hit here.
Help your own cause right now. How about a little blooper into left field? Just out of the reach of the shortstop.
That's popped out of play. He's getting closer. Nick Swisher, the left fielder. He is nearly 20 yards from the line. He's not very far away from that left field line. You can see the left fielder hugging that left field line. Well, he's putting the bat on the ball.
Put the bat on the ball, foul off those tough pitches like that, run that pitch count up.
Here you are as a catcher in Brzezinski's case thinking, if I throw him a breaking ball, I know I can get him out. But if I hang it, it's going to be slower, and he might be able to get to it.
And if I miss, and it's a ball, it's 3-2. Breaking ball.
Throw him a little breaking ball. Friedman will step on the bag, and Tehran's out of it. The Blue Jays will leave a pair. They get a walk and a base hit, and Strand 2 will go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Braves.
highlights, analysis, and post-game interviews. Catch Blue Jays Rewind presented by Booster Juice, part of the morning highlights right here on Sportsnet 360. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. Some young Braves fans out tonight. And why not? It's a gorgeous night. And, of course, school's not started for that fella. Now, Mark Buehrle now in a 2-1 ball game. He finds himself trailing by a run. Buehrle has allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. One of the hits to A.J. Pierzynski, a double in the second. Pierzynski, among Major League catchers, is hitting second best, and now he's got another hit. Since the 1st of July, Pierzynski came into this game batting .317, second only to Buster Posey of the Giants.
I tell you, every time he plays the Blue Jays, he gets 2 or 3 hits. I mean, every single time. First time up, hammers a ball into the corner, so he makes the adjustment, figures that Buehrle's going to go away, and beats the shift by just hitting a ground ball to the shortstop, and it finds its way in the left field.
Well, Pierzynski's on for a second time. Nick Swisher caught looking at strike 3. Buehrle got him on an inside fastball. Ground ball. Goins at short, goes to second for 1, and that's all they get, as the throw was a little bit to the outfield side of the base. But Goins had a long way to go to his right. I'm not sure it would have been a double play in any fashion.
It took a long time for that play to develop. It was hit to his right, but watch, he gets over there, and he's going to wait on the baseball. And by the time it gets there, he uncorks a wild throw to the outfield side, so they can't turn the double play. That would have been the 3rd double play by the Blue Jays in 4 innings.
Anderson Simmons has an RBI on a ground ball. He grounded to second back in the second inning. He drove in the first run of the game. Ground ball back to Buehrle. He goes to Goins at second for 1, back to first, double play. Mark Buehrle's a 4-time Gold Glover, and he helps himself out with the 1-6-3 double play. We'll go to the 5-2-1 Braves. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Kevin Barker. Addition to this Blue Jays lineup, and you look at what he's done since August 19th. He leads baseball with 39 hits. Mookie Betts of the Red Sox had his hit streak snapped at 18 games. He's got 36, Altuve 35, and Cespedes of the Mets 35. For the season, Revere has 159 hits coming into this game. That's tied for 15th in Major Leagues. Altuve and D. Gordon lead with 176 hits, and Josh Donaldson is tied for 5th with 169.
Looked at some of the numbers there and started looking at percentages, ground ball. Well, what's he doing to get the ball into the outfield or into the extra bases? Well, his ground ball percentage since he has come to the Blue Jays has actually gone down, so he's lifting the ball more. He's driving the ball into the outfield. The line drive percentage has gone up, and he's getting on base. That, I think, is the most important thing, especially with him now hitting in the leadoff spot. Work the count, work the pitcher, get on base in front of these big hitters. He scored 30 runs in 39 games.
On base percentage since coming to Blue Jays, 383. So initially he was hitting 9th. Tulowitzki was in the leadoff spot, and since Revere's gotten hot, they have bumped him to number 1. There's a drive down the right side, but that's going to hook into the seats. We mentioned Revere grew up in Atlanta and went to high school in LaGrange, Georgia, down near the Georgia-Alabama border. His brother played at the same high school 10 years ahead of Ben, and he was a terrific athlete. He was a football star, played point guard on the basketball team and center field on the baseball team. But he's told me today, Ben said, they wanted me to be my brother, and I wasn't. So he transferred to Kentucky, went to high school in Kentucky where his father was living, and he was able to play baseball there without playing under the shadow of his brother.
Yeah, in Lexington Catholic. And ended up being a high draft pick for the Minnesota Twins.
2-2. Breaking ball, hooked foul. Well, he's been a nice addition, and I asked him about the transition coming to this ball club. He said, you know, when I got here, all the guys just welcomed me and said, you know what we're trying to do here? Just jump on board. We're going to have fun. And he said it's been a terrific ball club and a great clubhouse. Of course, he was responsible for a lot of them going to the football game last night.
Yeah, he fit right in because he went out and got the loge, or the
suite, yeah,
the suite there, right behind the goal post, and all the players filled it up yesterday. Got to watch the ball game.
Look at Tulowitzki. He's keeping his eye on Revere, even though he's not able to play. Bounced right back to the mound. 1 out. Let's check it with Jamie Campbell. What a job Bird has done since taking over at first base with the injury to Mark Teixeira. He has 6 home runs and 19 RBIs now. He has really stepped up, filling in for the injured first baseman. Jake Odorizzi has given up 3 runs on just 2 hits, 2 walks. There's a high fly ball to left. Swisher's got room. It's going to stay in the yard. Donaldson just missed it.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Beautiful Turner Field. It's hard to imagine they're going to replace this beautiful ballpark with another ballpark that's scheduled to be open in 2017. Jose Bautista hits it high and deep to left, but this too is going to stay in the ballpark. Swisher makes the catch. Tehran is through 5 innings. He has a 2-1 lead. The Blue Jays have managed just 3 hits against Tehran. dominant stretch going on. The Angels still have hopes of getting into the wild card, and you can watch them tonight after this ball game, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet Pacific. It'll be Nick Trupiano for the Angels against Felix Hernandez, going for his 18th win. So make sure you check that out. More baseball coming up later on tonight. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Michael Buehrle didn't like that strike call. He squared the bunt and takes a strike. Buehrle batting in the 8th spot ahead of the pitcher. He walked with 2 outs in the second.
He's going to do anything he can right here to try and get on base in front of that pitcher so he can be sacrificed over to second. And that includes trying to drop a bunt down for a base hit or work that pitcher for a walk.
Buehrle just off a bit. We're in the 5th. It's 2-1 Braves. Full count to Michael Buehrle. Buehrle is in his 10th big league season. He was drafted by the Phillies out of University of Houston in 2003. This is his second stint with the Braves. Ground ball. Pennington at second. Will throw to first. One down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got another update for us. Jamie, that's got to make the pitcher feel real good, huh? You're playing in your home ballpark, you give up a home run, they shoot fireworks off.
Forgot where he was pitching.
Josh Tomlin gave up that home run to Rios. For Rios, that's just his 4th home run of the season, only 26th RBI. This is the pitcher, Julio Teheran. There's a liner to center. Kevin Pillar is going to play it off the hop and keeps it in front of him. Teheran gets a base hit, just his 5th base hit of the season.
And that was on an 0-2 pitch. He threw a good breaking ball underneath his bat for strike 2 and then makes a mistake. 0-2. Hits the ball up, and Pillar did everything he could to try and keep that ball in front of him, try to make the catch and then block it. It looks like he blocked it with his wrist. So it's a single for Teheran, who came into this game 0-91 as a hitter.
Teheran is now 5 for 46. Markakis lifts it into center field. Pillar is on the run. He'll get there and makes the catch. That hung up there too long for Markakis, and Pillar is able to make the running catch. Jamie Campbell's keeping track of everything around baseball, and he'll keep you up to date on everything that's going on. He's got the Yankees and Tampa Bay. Kansas City has a 2-0 lead over Cleveland. Texas has now taken a 3-0 lead over Houston in the 1st. All sorts of ramifications if that happens. Texas would then leapfrog over the Astros into 1st place.
Astros have been in 1st place for 135 days. 135 days in 1st place. Texas has been 26-15 in August and September. They have been hot.
You know, when we saw them, I didn't think they were going to make a run like this. I didn't see that much life in them. But Cole Hamels, we didn't see him pitching against the Blue Jays. This is Daniel Castro. He has a base hit and a sacrifice bunt. Castro's just 22 years old. He was signed as an amateur free agent by the Braves out of Mexico. He grew up in Guaymas, Mexico, in the state of Sonora on the Sea of Cortez, Baja California, gorgeous part of the world. And there's a good pitch, and Buehrle gets a strikeout. Just the second strikeout of the night for the lefty. We will go to the 6th. The Blue Jays are down by a run. Dustin Smoke will lead things off, followed by Russell Martin and Ryan Goins. Goins has been on base twice so far tonight.
Game at the Rogers Center between the Jays and the Red Sox. We recommend you get there early. It is Connect with the Jays tonight, presented by Honda, and the first 20,000 fans will receive one of these very cool Blue Jays Come Together t-shirts. They go to the first 20,000 fans. As we said, it's the Jays and Red Sox, 7:07 this Friday night. Buck?
Nice gift on Friday night. The Red Sox will be in town. The Red Sox got some bad news tonight. Joe Kelly was pitching in Baltimore against the Orioles, and he had to leave the game. He gave up 5 hits to the first 6 batters and left the ball game with the trainer. And he was scheduled to pitch against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, not anymore. He's out of there. So we sensed something was wrong with Joe Kelly when we played him.
Remember that? He was flexing his elbow, and you just really saw that he wasn't really comfortable. But he has left the game tonight with an apparent injury. So the Blue Jays need to get something going here against Julio Teheran. It'll be Smoke, Martin, and Goins. Smoke has walked and struck out. Boy, everybody throws him a lot of those slow breaking balls, don't they?
A lot of them, especially early in the count. I would look for that fastball in fastball counts like right now, 2-0. Trying to do some damage here.
That's off the plate. Goes against Smoke. He had an idea what he wanted, but that ball was outside. 2-1. Changeup. That's the book on Smoke. Stay soft, throw him breaking balls. Fly ball deep to left field. Swisher is back at the track. Goodbye, home run. An opposite field home run for Justin Smoke. His 16th home run. A leadoff shot here in the 6th.
Told you that Teheran has had problems versus lefties in giving up the home run. This is his 17th home run that he has given up to a left-handed batter. You don't think that you would see Smoke hit the ball down the left field line for a home run. Usually he's going to pull that ball and drive it to the big part of the ballpark in right center field. But this time he muscles the ball over the wall down the left field line for a big hit for the Blue Jays.
Smoke's a big, strong man. He just stayed on that pitch and drove it over the wall and left.
Looked like a high two-seamer trying to go away, and he just powers that ball out of the ballpark.
Russell Martin has struck out twice on that slider. Now it's 3-0. Justin Smoke has scored both runs tonight. He walked and scored in the second and drives himself in here in the sixth with a home run. Now it's 3-1 to Martin.
Taken all the way. Not a bad idea. 3-0. Make that guy throw some extra pitches.
Slider on the ground. Simmons from shortstop throws in time. One down. Well, Justin Smoke, 16 home runs and 49 ribbies, and this ties it up.
Yeah, he doesn't have to pull the ball to hit a home run. As you can see right here, that ball slicing into the first row. Stay back. Power that ball down the left field line. You can start jogging right there, get into your home run trot.
David Price will start tomorrow as the Blue Jays have made some adjustments to their rotation. Look out. Oh my. That thing went right over the screen directly into the seats.
Kevin Pillar's going to move back to the on-deck circle. He was standing almost right behind Goins, and it looked like that ball might have gone right above him. So he's going to move back to the on-deck circle.
Ball comes flying off that bat. You can see there's a low screen there to protect fans in those first few rows, but it's only about 10 feet high. There's a slow breaking ball, and Goins is behind. Two-two ball game. Line to Freeman at first. Well, the Blue Jays, the most powerful team in all of baseball. They have 203 home runs now. They're the only team in the majors with over 200 home runs. And look at the Braves. They're 30th in baseball. They've hit just 88 home runs. And you got to have power to hit home runs in this ballpark.
Yeah, some of it has to do with the ballpark here. But they traded a lot of home runs off of this team from last year. Justin Upton was here. He has been traded. Melvin Upton was on this team last year. Chris Johnson, he had some home run power. Jason Hayward has also been traded. I mean, they're in full rebuild mode.
Their organization has gone from 29th best minor league organization to second. So that's where you start, that's for sure. Kevin Pillar at the count in his favor, 2-0. Hits a base hit to right. Stayed on that fastball. A two-out single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Lots going on in baseball tonight. Colin McHugh, the starter for the Astros, gives up 4 runs on 4 hits in the first. Derek Holland is the starter for Texas, and the Rangers have a good lineup. Delino DeShields has done a nice job in that leadoff spot. Then it's Sin-Chu Chu, Fielder, Beltre, Moreland, and Odor. That's a legit lineup.
Prince Fielder, I think, is the key to that lineup. He and Beltre, if they can drive in runs.
Yeah, and they're the veterans, and they're not going to panic down the stretch. Fielder with the 2-run home run in the 8th last night, the game winner. Says Cliff Pennington, who has gone 2 for 2 so far.
Chris Colabello has grabbed the bat.
That's the pitcher's spot. Mark Buehrle is in the 9th spot. John Gibbons knows in this National League atmosphere, you got to anticipate where that pitcher's hitting. So Pennington's at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. There goes Pillar. Throw from Pierzynski not nearly in time, and Pilar picks up his 19th stolen base of the season, and that makes things a little more interesting now for Cliff Pennington.
He's only been thrown out 3 times all season long. He picked a great pitch to run on. You saw that breaking ball took a little bit more time to get to A.J. Pierzynski, and Pilar steals the base.
Brett Cecil, the lefty, loosening up.
You got 2 of the 3 batters scheduled for the Braves left-handed, so you got to go to the lefty. This is if Pennington can get on, and they have to pinch hit.
Wade takes a tough pitch for ball 4, and that will bring Colabello. No, they're going to switch it up. They're going to send Carrera up here. Colabello was a decoy. Ezequiel Carrera comes up here with 2 men on and 2 outs. This is to neutralize that slider, take it away from Tehran. Instead of sending Colabello up, John Gibbons crosses him up, and now they announce Carrera into the game. Let's see if the Braves are going to counter that move. Freddie Gonzalez is already at the top step. He wants to hear from the umpire. He says, yeah, he is announced into the game. So there's the call to the bullpen, and the chess match is on here in Atlanta.
Here it comes right there. You send up Carrera. Freddie Gonzalez is going to counter that by bringing a left-hander in. Now we'll probably see Colabello pinch hit for the pinch hitter.
Well, this is the theme of September baseball. You have a lot of options. So Tehran is out of the game. The runners on base are his responsibility. It's a 2-2 ball game, and the bullpen will be on for Atlanta.
All new 2016 Honda Pilot, proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Lots of great history surrounding this Braves organization. The statue of the Hall of Famer, the late Warren Spahn. Now another left-hander, Andrew McKiernan, making his 24th appearance. He has interfaced Chris Colabello as the managers have matched wits here in the 6th.
23 games for McKiernan. He was activated on July 20th after serving an 80-game suspension by Major League Baseball, and in that time he has pitched 19 and a third innings, given up 13 runs and a .360 batting average since that time. So McKiernan doesn't throw that hard. Will come in and he will face the pinch hitter, Chris Colabello.
Colabello coming off the bench. He's batting for Carrera, who was announced into the game. And there's a first pitch swing and a little soft liner caught by Castro. But the Blue Jays have tied it up. Justin Smoak, a leadoff opposite field home run. It's 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th in Atlanta. partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Another good ball game here in Atlanta. New pitcher into the game for the Blue Jays is the lefty Brett Cecil, who's on quite a run, Pat.
Certainly is. He hasn't allowed a run over his last 24 innings. The fastball has been so much better. His breaking ball has been so much better. He made a few adjustments to his windup and the way he starts. Just tucks that ball right at his belt and then goes. It felt like when he was holding the ball up away from his body, he might be tipping his pitches. Well, since then, he has been unhittable. 3-4 with a 289 earned run average since then. This is his 54th game of the season, and he has 54 strikeouts.
So Buehrle goes 5 innings. He leaves with the game tied at 2-2. It'll be Freeman, Garcia, and Pierzynski for the Braves. Freddie Freeman, a terrific young player, and we mentioned he's in his 6th season. He just turned 26 on the 12th of September. Second round pick of the Braves in 2007. He's been a 2-time All-Star.
Injuries have really hurt him this year. Wrist injury has zapped his power. He's 16 home runs this year.
Check swing, foul into the seats. In 2013, he had his finest season. He had .319 with 23 homers and 109 RBIs. First time he made the All-Star team, he backed that up with another All-Star berth in 2014. And Cecil strikes him out.
You got to turn him around also against righties. He's a .301 hitter, lefties .230. And Brett Cecil makes quick work. Here's that curveball in a good spot, and Freeman swings right through it.
So Adonis Garcia will bat, and he is a free swinger. Garcia was signed as an amateur free agent out of Cuba by the Yankees in 2012. Now, so Martin kind of caught that in an awkward fashion and may have taken a strike away from Cecil. Garcia was released by the Yankees on April 1st this season, and the Braves jumped right on him. They signed him on the 7th of April.
He's got some powers. He had 8 home runs already.
He's got a good bat. Boy, that bat flies through the zone. He hit .284 in AAA. In 331 at bats. He played third base and left field down in the minors. Two and two. Boy, Cecil is pitching with so much confidence. He hasn't given up a run since June 21st.
Longest scoreless streak by an AL reliever this season.
And he strikes out the first 2 here in the 6th.
You know, as good as he has been against lefties, he has been even tougher on right-handers coming into this ball game. Righties have hit him .214 against him. Lefties .220.
So A.J. Pierzynski, the veteran, he was 2 for 2 off of Mark Buehrle.
Be careful on this first pitch.
Looking for that fastball.
And he got it.
This is popped up over near the Blue Jays dugout. Donaldson is there. He's got room, and he makes the catch. Good inning for Brett Cecil. 3 up, 3 down. It's a tie game. We'll go to the 7th.
an interview with Roberto Osuna. Get the next 10 editions of Sportsnet magazine for only $10. It's a special limited time offer. Visit sportsnet.ca/10 for 10 to order now. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. And down in that bullpen, you're going to see a new face. That's Drew Hutchison in the back row of that bullpen, and he has been pushed down into the bullpen, taken out of the rotation. Blue Jays have 6 starters now, so they had an off day yesterday. With the off day, David Price will take Hutchison's spot tomorrow. Then Marco Estrada will pitch on Thursday to wrap up the road trip. Marcus Stroman will open up Friday against the Red Sox, and R.A. Dickey will pitch Saturday and then back to Buehrle. So, yeah, it's an adjustment period, and it's not anything about the postseason. It's all about trying to get to the wire, and they have 6 starters. Stroman was impressive in his first outing, so he has to pitch. Of course, you're not going to move Price around. Dickey's been throwing the ball great, so Hutchison is bumped for the time being. And that does not mean that he's not going to make another start.
That's right. He could make another start, and I think he can be a weapon and help the bullpen. I don't think you can ever have too many arms down in that bullpen. You just never know if the starter gets knocked out early. Who do you think they're going to go to?
Well, Hutchison certainly has the ability to give you multiple innings if you need to go to the pen early. Marcus Stroman, he's got his bat, but in his mind, he said, I should play here because I was a second baseman at Duke. Slap to third. That's a fair ball. Strong arm in time, as Revere is thrown out by Garcia from third.
That'll bring Freddie Gonzalez out of the bullpen with all the right-handed batters coming up.
So McKeon gets his 2 assignments. He gets the pinch hitter Colabello to the line out to end the 6th, and then top of the order, Ben Revere, the lefty, gets him, so he is out of the ball game. They'll have a pitching change. Josh Donaldson will.
Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
When you think about the Braves, of course, you think about the hammer, number 44, the great Hank Aaron. He has a statue here outside this ballpark, and what an iconic name that is in baseball. New pitcher into the game is Brendan Kniff. Kniff taking over for the lefty, Andrew McKirahan.
Kniff was a 27th round draft pick in 2010. Actually spent 3 years in independent, the Frontier League, and then signed by the Braves. He was just recalled from their AAA team on September 1st.
Kniff has not pitched since Friday. He worked an inning in Friday's game in that 5-1 loss to the Mets. Braves were swept in 4 straight to the Mets. Josh Donaldson is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Krasinski's been giving him a steady diet of those breaking balls tonight.
Yeah, he's been showing him fastballs around the plate, and then in fastball counts, he's been throwing him the breaking ball. There comes another one.
It was a flat breaking ball there. He got underneath it a bit, but it still had that sideways movement. 2-1 to Donaldson. Bautista will follow. One out. We're in the 7th. Bautista, he's also 0 for 3. He spoiled that good slider. He stayed on it and was able to foul it off to stay alive.
Boy, how about that? 3-2. He's not even going to show him a fastball. Throws him the breaking ball and just got a piece of it to keep it alive.
Donaldson with 38 home runs. Third American League. Breaking ball popped in the air. Shallow center field. Michael Buehrle in. Waits on. 2 down. Well, Bautista will step in with nobody on and 2 outs. Jose had a big home run in New York against Dylan Betances. That was on Saturday in game 1 of the doubleheader in the 8th inning that broke a 4-4 tie. Put the Jays up by 1. Bautista, like Donaldson, getting a steady diet of those sliders.
Yeah, and they're hard. Righties have been tough to hit against Brandon Caniff. They're hitting just 137 against him this year. You can see why. Good fastball, good slider combination.
Jose has 35 home runs for the season. Krasinski's doing a good job of mixing up the pitches.
Yeah, he is. You got Jose looking for a breaking ball right there, and they threw a fastball right down the middle.
"31 of the 35 home runs Bautista's hit have come against right-handers. He does a great job of covering the outside pitches. He stays on those pitches, and Harry Cederstrom kicking something away from home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. The appeal down to first, and the first base umpire Quinn Wolcott rings up Bautista. Knipp comes in to give it 2 and end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Still a 2-2 game.
The new Sportsnet app has you covered. Keep up to speed with everything Blue Jays. Don't miss a pitch with our in-depth live game tracker, plus the latest news, videos, and interviews on Canada's team. Download the new Sportsnet app today. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. And we move to the bottom of the seventh. Brett Cecil, another terrific inning of work. 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts. Now it's over to Mark Lowe.
He only threw 10 pitches, 8 of them for strikes for Cecil. A very good inning, and the turn over to Lowe. Mark is going to work in his 51st game, where his numbers when he was with Seattle and Toronto, he has been terrific. Fastball slider combination has been great. 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And he will face Nick Swisher.
Mark Lowe picked up his first save of the season in Game 2 on Saturday at New York. He threw 11 pitches in an inning of work, had a strikeout. It was his first save since 2011 when he was pitching with the Texas Rangers, his 6th career save. Swisher, Simmons, and Michael Bourne for Atlanta. First pitch is bounced in the dirt. Swisher batting left-handed for the first time tonight. .280 batting right-handed, just .217 batting left-handed. Quite a difference in batting averages, lefty to righty.
He has always had a good eye at the plate. You can see he's run the count to 3-0. His power is not where it used to be. He's had some surgeries on both of his knees the last couple of seasons, and that's really robbed him of a lot of his power.
There's a strike. It's now 3-1. For his career, he's a .250 hitter. We mentioned earlier that this is his 12th season. His best year, 35 homers, 95 RBIs for Oakland in 2006. There's another breaking ball and another strike. It's a full count.
It's a typical Nick Swisher at bat, isn't it? Work the count, see a lot of pitches.
Mark Lowe has been a great pickup for the Blue Jays bullpen. He says he has a goal of throwing 15 pitches and getting out of an inning. Wants to be efficient. Swisher has elevated that pitch count, and now it's ball 4. So Swisher draws the leadoff walk. So you take a look at the AL East standings as we speak, and Blue Jays have a 3-game lead over the New York Yankees. The Yankees currently are leading Tampa Bay. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2 down in St. Petersburg. Cameron Maben takes over as a pinch runner at first for Nick Swisher, who drew the leadoff walk.
This will be very interesting to see how they play it. Simmons is not a guy who's going to sacrifice him over, but Maben can steal a base. Cameron's got 21 stolen bases this season.
Got a big lead at first. First pitch strike to Andrelton Simmons.
You know, they could play hit and run with Simmons at some point. So the defense is going to have to be on their toes right here. Who's going to cover the bag?
Not running. It's a ball and a strike. Simmons is now 26 years old. This is his 4th season in the big leagues. He's from Curacao. He played junior college baseball in Oklahoma, Western Oklahoma State College, and he was drafted in the 2nd round by Atlanta in 2010. Maben wants to run, not running here. Good pitch on the corner. Mark Lowe has told Pete Walker, the pitching coach, I'll pitch every day if you want me to. He has done a great job over the last several seasons getting himself in great shape. He says he doesn't get sore after an outing. He can really throw on multiple back-to-back days.
And that's important this time of the year. You might need them back-to-back-to-back days.
Well, another thing he has done is he's spread that mentality down in the bullpen. There's a lot of young guys going through this for the first time, and he said, hey, you got to be ready to pitch every day. And I don't care if you're not 100%. You've got to strap it on and get ready to go. 2-2. Ground ball. This should be 2. Goins will go to the back for 1. Back to first. It is a double play. Ryan Goins did a great job of coming after that ball, and the momentum took him right to the bag at second. That's 4 double plays the Blue Jays have turned tonight.
And I'm really shocked that they brought in a pinch runner and then never started that runner at first base. 5 pitches, and it's a good thing they didn't, because Simmons bangs into that double play, and the Blue Jays, just like that, erased that leadoff walk.
So the number 9 hitter now, Michael Buehrle. Buehrle is 0 for 1 with a walk. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, why would you pinch run if you're not going to start him? Low is fastball slider. He's got the confidence in that slider. He can throw it to both sides of the plate. He'll use it to backdoor the left-handed hitters. That's going to be out of play down the left side. Two balls and a strike, 2 outs. Looking ahead to the top of the 8th, Smoke, Martin, and Goins, the scheduled batters for the Blue Jays. There's another fly ball down the left side. Revere's got a shot at this one on the warning track. He's there, makes the catch in foul territory. So Bourne's retired. Lowe has a good inning. The double play helps him out. Justin Smoke homered his last time up. He'll start things off in the 8th. Partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Justin Smoke with the Blue Jays down by a run in the 6th inning leads off with this down the left field line off Julio Teheran, and it sneaks over the wall in left field for his 16th home run of the season and just the 4th hit to left field this season by Smoke. That is our drive of the game, and he will lead off the 8th inning. Let's see if we can do it again against another hard right-handed thrower.
Brandon Kinniff came into the ball game and got the 2 batters he was called upon. He got Josh Donaldson and Jose Bautista. Cameron Maben came in as a pinch runner for Nick Swisher. He takes over in center field, and with that, the center fielder, Michael Bourne, moves from center to left. Two balls and a strike to Justin Smoak. Boy, had a good rip.
He certainly did. 94 miles an hour. Fastball away. Anytime you see a hitter foul a ball straight back like this, I mean, that's straight back. He's right on that ball.
Just missed it. Justin has scored both runs for the Blue Jays tonight. There's a breaking ball, gets a piece of it. To me, Justin Smoak's year was really knocked off kilter when Bautista got hurt back in April. Smoak was playing on a fairly regular basis, and his swing was really coming around, and then Bautista had the DH, and that knocked Smoak out of the picture. There he chases that breaking ball. One down here in the 8th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. It's going to be difficult for all of these pennant contending ball clubs to close games out this time of the season. For Nick Franklin, that's his 15th career home run. But everybody is trying to knock off the front runners. Everybody wants to mess up their postseason aspirations. We saw that from the Red Sox in Boston.
They looked loose, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, up there just swinging away with nothing to lose.
Russell Martin is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Two-two ball game. We're in the 8th. Brandon Kniff, the 3rd pitcher to work tonight. Tehran, the starter, went 6 2/3. Andrew McKirahan went 2/3 of an inning. Blue Jays have struck out 9 times tonight.
I'll tell you, we've seen the best of the Braves. Everybody keeps saying that they've been struggling with their pitching and their bullpen. There hasn't been anything wrong with their bullpen tonight. I guess these are the 2 best that we have seen so far.
Russell Martin takes the walk with 1 out. Ryan Goins will come in, and now here's another pitching change. Freddy Gonzalez is out of the Braves dugout. He has made the call to the bullpen. It'll be a left-hander coming out of the bullpen for Ryan Goins, and that has been the situation for Goins of late. While we have a moment and they make the pitching change, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. the walk from Brandon Kniff, and now Matt Marksberry comes in to make his 22nd appearance. I think Ryan Goins is thinking, do I see every left-hander in every game? Every time there's a pitching change, it's for Ryan Goins.
It's September, and you're going to get those lefties because look what lefties are hitting against Marksberry, just 178. This might be just a one-batter type of thing. Righties, 364. 0-3 with a 540 earned run average. He was the Braves' 15th round draft pick in 2013. Doesn't throw that hard, but he has a very good curveball. And you can see why lefties have had their trouble against Marksberry. They got to make sure they make him throw for strikes. Look at his whip, 1.5. Tells me he's walked a lot of batters.
So Goins will step in against the left-hander Marksberry. Russell Martin with the one-out walk. He's at first. It's a 2-2 ball game. We're in the top of the 8th here in Atlanta. Ryan Goins. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. He walked in the 4th and lined out to the first baseman. Hit it hard, but right at Freddie Freeman. In the 6th. Fouls back the first pitch. Ryan batting 194 against the lefties. 251 against the righties at the start of play tonight. He has fared much better against them lately, using that opposite field approach against the lefties. But this is what you get in September when the rosters expand. You'll obviously see a lot of left-handers. The Yankees had 5 left-handers in their bullpen. The Braves have 3. Ooh, we almost threw that one away.
Almost threw it away. 11 relievers the Braves are carrying here for the month of September. So you can do this. You can bring a guy in for one batter late in the ball game.
Goins called out on strikes, and Marksberry was so happy with that pitch he was headed for the dugout. He was just a little premature. Freddie Gonzalez is going to take him out of the game, but he was going to walk off on his own. He thought that was the 3rd out of the inning. But he does his job. He gets Goins.
One more time, fastball. See you later. Okay, well, wait till the manager comes out to take you out.
Hold on.
That's only 2.
One more time. Okay, now you can go. But he strikes out Goins. He gets his man. More pitching changes. We'll come back to Atlanta after this.
Rogers is going to see exactly how great the response is. We've got a couple of caravans celebrating that going across the country with a 22-day countdown to the last home game. If you want to share your passion, go to Twitter and hashtag 22daysBlueJays and let the celebration begin. Buck, I've been seeing some pictures already online and some great stuff going on from our folks going right across the country.
Well, it is a national team. There's no question about that. We've got fans following us from Newfoundland all the way to British Columbia and all places in between. So it's going to be a great finish to this season. This is Peter Moreland coming into the game to face Kevin Pillar. Pillar singled in solo base his last time up back in the 6th.
Moreland's been with the Braves before. They signed him to a minor league contract in March of this season after he missed last season with Tommy John surgery.
Moreland is from Australia, and the Braves signed him originally after seeing him in a WBC in 2006. A sinking fastball, sidearm delivery. Russell Martin, if he feels like he can get a jump, he will steal the occasional base. He has 4 stolen bases, but he's been caught 5 times. Ball and a strike to Kevin Pillar. What kind of challenge does it present to Pillar to face this sidearmer here late in the game?
Well, number one, you got to make sure that he gets the ball up. He's a sidearmer because he gets a lot of ground balls and he gets sinks, so you got to make him get that ball up. If he does, there's a huge gap in left center field between Swisher and Maben, the center fielder. Not Swisher, that is Buehrle now. And he is playing deep. The outfield is very deep to cut off any ball in the gap.
Hey, you see the no doubles defense, and that is Buehrle. He is almost on the warning track in left field. Cameron Maben in center. He's shaded over to the right center side of center field. Markakis straight away and right. 2 outs, 1 and 2 to Pillar. Yeah, I would keep an eye on Russell Martin right now in this situation. Figure they might throw a breaking ball here. And if Martin can get a good jump, it might be a good time for him to take a gamble that you can get him into scoring position. Boy, that's close.
It's close. He's quick over there. Buehrle picks up that back foot, so he disengages with the pitching rubber. And then it's a quick turn. Watch him. Watch that back leg. Disengage and then fire over there. If you're not running, then you can't get picked off here. If you're not running, shorten it up, and he is shortening it up. Take a big secondary lead. Or a bigger secondary lead.
Yeah, bounce off there after the pitch is delivered. Two-two ball game in the 8th. The Blue Jays scored first. Cook Pennington drove in the first run of the ball game with a single in the 2nd inning. Braves tied it up in the bottom half of the 2nd. Bouncing ball towards short. Simmons has a long run. Pillar can run, but he can't outrun that great arm of Anderson Simmons. So Moreland comes in and gets his man. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Kevin Barker.
can vote for today's play of the game. You can do that after every Blue Jays game on sportsnet.ca. Buck with the game tied at 2. I imagine the play of the game is yet to happen yet. I think Blue Jay fans are hoping we see one in the top of the ninth.
Well, Barry, I'll tell you what, Blue Jays infield has played very well tonight. They have turned 4 double plays in support of their pitching staff, and it's going to be another pitcher here. But Aaron Sanchez starting the 8th inning. Cecil had a good inning in the 6th. Lowe followed that up in the 7th. Now Aaron Sanchez starts the 8th.
Yeah, and this is the order that John Gibbons has gone with his bullpen of late. Cecil, Lowe, and now Sanchez in the 8th inning. There are the numbers for Aaron in 32 ball games. He has been dynamite as an 8th inning setup man for the Blue Jays. Power sinker, a nice little slider. Darwin Warney has taken over at second base. It looks like they did this double switch.
Yeah, what they did was they moved Pennington to short. And now he's getting some instruction from the bench. This is Jace Peterson pinch hitting against Aaron Sanchez. So lots going on here. There you see Pennington at short. Jace Peterson is batting for the pitcher in the 9th spot. Pinch hitting here in the 8th. Sanchez into the ball game, and he handcuffs Peterson. Aaron Sanchez has not pitched since game 1 on Saturday in that doubleheader. He threw 27 pitches, had a couple of walks in that inning. Sanchez now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitcher Sanchez is in Ryan Goins' spot. He was taken out of the lineup. They kept Pennington in the 8th spot, moved him to short, and brought in Barney. He is now batting in the 9th spot, playing at second. Two-two pitch. Now it's a full count. Nick Markakis is on deck, top of the order. Bouncing ball. Darwin Barney gets his first opportunity as a Blue Jay. Makes an easy play of it.
The all-new 2016 Honda Pilot. Proud partner and official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Darwin Barney was picked up by the Blue Jays after the Tulowitzki injury was diagnosed. They felt like they needed a veteran infielder, middle infielder. Barney is certainly a very good addition to this team. He's a Gold Glove winner. Won the Gold Glove playing second base for the Cubs in 2012, and he and Deanna Navarro were teammates with Chicago. So Navarro vouched for him as being a great fit with this ball club. Tulowitzki, of course, knocked out with that shoulder injury. Nick Markakis quickly behind 0-2.
It's a good move by the Blue Jays, recognizing that they're going to need a little bit more depth in the middle of the infield, and they were just fortunate enough to call the Dodgers and find Barney was on their AAA roster.
He was in AAA Oklahoma City, and they kind of had him in reserve, and for a while the Dodgers didn't want to give him up, but Alex Anthopoulos stayed on it. Was able to bring him here. Barney played in Oklahoma City 96 games. He had 277. He's never really been thought of as an offensive player, but he earns his playing time with that glove. Markakis still having trouble getting around on Sanchez. Darwin Barney is now 29 years old. He came out of Oregon State. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Cubs in 2007. Breaking ball, and that's going to cross up the defense. Markakis slapped it through the 5-6 hole into left.
Boy, every time we play a team with Nick Markakis on, the guy gets 2 hits against the Blue Jays. He doubled his second at bat in the 3rd inning, and then gets this curveball. Just stays on it, just punches it the other way, and he finds a hole.
Nick Markakis with the 2 hits tonight has 180 hits against the Blue Jays. That's the most against the Blue Jays since he came up in 2006. So you're right. If it feels like he gets 2 hits every night, he does.
I think I've seen every one of them also. It is a lot.
1 out, Daniel Castro. Boy, this screams a hit and run, doesn't it? Castro can handle a bat. He singled you right in the 1st, had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, and struck out in the 5th.
You know why it screams hit and run? With that turbo sinker that Sanchez has, he's going to get a lot of ground balls. They've already hit into 4 double plays tonight.
That ball ate him up inside. The Blue Jays with the 4 double plays, that ties their season high. They also had 4 double plays at Detroit against the Tigers on the 3rd of July. I'd love to have number 5 right here to get him out of the 8th. Sanchez strikes out Castro, but he's not out of the woods yet. Now you got to deal with Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, hoping that he was going to make contact here, but he's going to come up empty. That thing is just dive bombing. First strikeout of the night for Sanchez, and you're right, he's got to deal with Freeman now. Cecil struck him out last time up on a good curveball.
Freeman is 0 for 3. He reached on an error by Smoke in the 3rd. Breaking ball. They start him off with a breaking ball, and Sanchez left it outside. Freeman against the Blue Jays, a career 400 hitter. Another breaking ball. This one's good for a strike. This is just the 14th game Freddie Freeman has played against the Blue Jays, but he came into this game 20 for 50.
And he's got some extra base power. Look at the outfield, how deep they are, in the second baseman, Darwin Barney, in short right field.
Two balls and a strike.
Freeman's a good low ball hitter. I mean, he can go down and get that thing and elevate pitches at the knees.
Well, what a job by Martin. He smothered that breaking ball to keep Markakis at first, but now it's 3 balls and a strike.
You got to anticipate anytime there's a curveball called. Anticipate a breaking ball in the dirt. Russell does that and blocks that, keeps that runner at first base.
And the breaking ball, high fly ball, not deep. Pilar's calling for it. He gets there, and Sanchez gets out of it. The Markakis single doesn't hurt. The Braves leave a base runner and go to the 9th. 2-2 ball game. In the ninth inning, it's a 2-2 ball game, and Aroldis Vizcaino makes his 27th appearance of the season.
He is the closer for this team. Craig Kimbrell was here last year. They traded him right before the season started, and they've been looking for a closer ever since. Well, it's going to be Vizcaino here for the month of September. 2-1, 225 earned run average for Vizcaino. He's got a good arm. It's been around for a long time. 22 of his 26 appearances have been scoreless. So they bring the closer in the ninth inning in a tie ball game, and they're going to face Pennington and Barney to lead off the ninth inning.
Cliff Pennington's had a perfect night at the plate. Had an RBI single in the second, singled in the fourth, and walked in the sixth. Trying to get aboard here to start the ninth. Vizcaino, the fifth Braves relief pitcher to work tonight. Pennington facing Vizcaino for the first time. Lays off that hard breaking ball. Three and one. Blue Jays have 5 walks tonight. That's been consistent all night long. Darwin Bonnie on deck, anticipating his first at bat as a Blue Jay.
Make him throw 2 pitches for strikes.
98.
Here's one. A pretty good arm. He's always had a really good arm. There are times where he gets a little wild. But that's a pretty big arm right there.
Three-two pitch. Upstairs. Castro at second. Retires Pennington. So Darwin Barney will get his first at bat as a Blue Jay. It'll be his first American League at bat. Spent 6 years in the National League. Parts of 5 seasons with the Cubs and parts of 2 seasons with the Dodgers. He won that Gold Glove in 2012. His rookie season, he played 143 games for the Cubs in 2011. Finished 7th in the Rookie of the Year voting that year. Hits his ball to right. Markakis is on the run near the foul line. Makes the catch. 2 down. Ben Revere is 0 for 4 tonight. He flied out and grounded out 3 times. He played his last game with the Phillies on July 30th against Atlanta. He went 1 for 4 in that game, so he is facing them once again, this time as a Blue Jay. He goes after the first pitch, trying to ambush that fastball, something he doesn't do very often, but it results in a fly ball out. Vizcaino 3 up, 3 down. Top of the ninth. Will go to the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Garcia, Pierzynski, and Cameron Maybin. Colin McHugh and Derek Holland have both been cuffed around, but they're still in the ball game. They go to the bottom of the ninth, and Aaron Sanchez is back out for the ninth. He pitched the eighth inning, gave up a one-out single to Nick Markakis, but then struck out Castro and got Freddie Freeman to fly out. Sanchez, just for the second time this season working more than an inning. He did that in game one on Saturday in a doubleheader. He came back after a good inning in the seventh and walked the first two batters in the eighth. It was the first time he had been asked to pitch more than an inning working out of the bullpen. Breaking ball over Sanchez. Barney at second. What a play, but no scoop at first. Darwin Barney behind the bag at second. Gloved it, got to his feet, but couldn't get a lot on the throw, and Smoke just couldn't dig it out of the dirt. It'll be an infield hit.
That would have been one heck of a play right there, both by Barney and Smoke. They had time because Garcia does not run all that well. There's the great play, the throw. It's an in-between hop. It's not a true short hop over there at first base. So Smoke goes down to pick it, but it comes up on him. It'll go as an infield hit.
A.J. Pierzynski, 2 for 3 so far. Todd Cunningham is the pinch runner at first for Garcia. Pierzynski stays on that pitch and fouls it into the seats. AJ is 2 for 3, as we mentioned. He doubled in the right field corner in the second and singled through the infield into left in the fourth. Pierzynski is a terrific hit and run guy. He can put the bat on the ball.
He thinks his way through at bats. You see him just try to cover that outside pitch.
Breaking ball, base hit. Cunningham is challenging Bautista's arm, and he'll go first to third, and the winning run is at third base. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central, here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Thank you very much, Ivanka. That's all coming up right after this ball game. The Braves continue to use their full roster. They have made another change. It's Christian Bethancourt pinch running at first base for Pierzynski. So AJ had another great night tonight, 3 for 4. Todd Cunningham is at third base, and he represents the winning run. Cameron Maben at the plate, batting for the first time tonight. He came in as a pinch runner in the seventh.
They need a ground ball, a pop-up, a strikeout right here.
Infield is in. You got to cut down the runner at home. The outfield is very shallow as well. There goes the runner, and they'll concede second. His run doesn't mean a thing. So now Martin's going to go out and talk things over with Sanchez here. Pennington's going to come in to listen in on the conversation. They're talking probably a little bit how they're going to pitch him to help Pennington position himself. The Braves haven't seen Sanchez outside of Nick Markakis. No one else has faced him in his lineup. So it's a ball and no strikes on Cameron Maben, batting for the first time.
His best pitch is a fastball. I'd stay firm and stay on the inside. Just try and jam him so he can't get the barrel out in front.
No question that's his best pitch, and I agree with you 100%.
Runners are going to play it on the ground. They're going to play the ball through. So they're not going anywhere on a ground ball. So you got to stay in. Stay right on the inside part of the plate, right on his hands.
Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Pretty good pitch.
Russell Martin acknowledged that to Sanchez, and he's turning around to the home plate umpire. Gary Cederstrom, a veteran umpire behind Russell Martin. Looked like the same pitch.
You can take one shot here to go for the strikeout.
Throw him a breaking ball.
Try it, just don't overthrow it.
Fastball hit on the ground, foul. Darwin Barney is at second. Pennington is at short. Ground ball to Barney. Runner holds at third. 1 out.
That's what you want to do right there. Your best pitch is the hard-charging fastball. Stay in on his hands.
John Gibbons is coming out of the dugout now, and this is probably going to be a little bit more of a strategic meeting than anything else. He's going out to talk to Sanchez, and Osuna is throwing, but it looks to me like Gibbons is giving Sanchez and Martin the option of working to Simmons here. And I think that's what he wanted to clarify. Listen, get everybody on the same page. You want to go after Simmons, go after him. I'll give you the option to put him on base, and Michael Bourne in a left-handed batter.
Bourne's too tough to double up. I'd say stay with the same formula that we just saw against Maben.
Bourne has hit into 2 double plays all year long. Left-handed bat coming out of that left-handed batter's box. So they're going to go after Simmons. 1 out. Ground ball, base hit, ball game. Andrelton Simmons went after the first pitch, and the Braves walk off the Blue Jays 3-2 here in the bottom of the ninth.
These are the dangerous games right here when these teams, they don't have anything to play for except personal pride, and they come in, they're very confident, very relaxed. Blue Jays are playing for everything, and they let a tough one get away from them. Blue Jays had some opportunities early in the ball game to get runners in, and they just couldn't, and the Braves walk them off in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Blue Jays strand 8 base runners. They go 1 for 5 with the runners in scoring position. Andrelton Simmons goes after the first pitch. Scores the pinch runner from third, A.J. Pierzynski, with the 3 hits. And the Braves win the opener 3-2. They out-hit the Blue Jays 10-5. Tough loss for the Jays. Stay tuned. Here comes Sportsnet Central. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. We'll see you tomorrow night.